12 News at 10 with Mark Curtis and Caribe Divine starts now.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a lot of uncertainty in two Valley school districts, with teachers wondering where their next paycheck is coming from amid crippling financial issues and budget cuts.
Starting in West Phoenix, where the Isaac School District is facing a crisis amid $28 million in overspending. Teachers in that district didn't receive their paychecks today, and tonight it's unclear how leaders will continue to keep schools up and running. Meanwhile, in Mesa, district leaders say that they will have to cut jobs, potentially laying off teachers because of declining enrollment and funding. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Caribe Divine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Let's start with the Isaac School District, where teachers have voted to show up for work tomorrow despite not getting paid.
That's right. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly is joining us live with the very latest. And Chase, what can you tell us?
Well, Caribe, Mark, with the state legislature moving forward with some temporary relief, teachers decided tonight that they will be back to work, if only for the moment. Many parents picking up their kids from school.
I'm just in shock.
Worried this may be their last day for a while.
I hope not. We don't want that. Nobody wants that.
They heard more than 600 teachers with Isaac School District were threatening not to come into work Wednesday because they didn't get paid. District leaders overspent $28 million.
I'm really worried about it because I'm for kids and they go to 3 different schools and I have to work. I'm a single mother.
While these parents are concerned about their children's education, they also understand what these teachers are dealing with.
I don't blame the teachers not going to school. They got to get paid. If I go to work, I don't get paid, I'm not going.
Nobody wants to work for free. We need money. We need to pay our bills.
Hours after school got out, the Arizona Education Association held a meeting with those teachers, telling us they all voted to go to school Wednesday unpaid. AEA president and Isaac school teacher Marisol Garcia saying teachers want to be there for their students and because the state legislature is moving forward on a bill that will get them the money they are owed.
The state has to take action.
On Tuesday, the House Committee on Education passed HB 2610 that was introduced by Republican Representative Matt Gress. It would terminate any governing board and superintendent of a school district if they become insolvent or grossly mismanaged. It would also provide $2.5 million to Isaac School District staff.
A short-term solution to keep Isaac open for the next 2 weeks.
That has some other lawmakers concerned, questioning the legality of removing elected board members and say that couple $1 million will run out quick, putting them back in the position they're in now.
For staff to show up for the next 2 weeks and be unclear about whether they will be paid again in 2 weeks, I think is not ideal.
Not to mention, this bill still has a long way to go before it even gets to the governor's desk. And while teachers will be back in the classroom Wednesday to educate the nearly 5,000 students who attend the district, they will take another vote that same day to see if they will be back Thursday. Once again, leaving parents and students wondering what's going to happen next.
Chase, this story has really hit a nerve in the Valley. We've been hearing from parents and teachers and even state lawmakers demanding an investigation into this financial mess and how it was able to get this bad in the first place. Have there been any developments on that front?
Mark, we did actually speak with Attorney General Mesa today, who announced her office will be launching an investigation into the governing board and looking into that $28 million mess to see if this goes beyond gross incompetence like we've been hearing for the past week. We also learned tonight that the governing board is holding a special meeting tomorrow night. Of course, we will be there to keep everyone updated. We're live in West Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. Now over to the East Valley, where the Mesa Public School Board voted tonight to cut jobs in order to accommodate a projected $18 million budget loss. It is still undecided how many teachers and administrators will be laid off, but we know that there's one program that won't be impacted, at least for now. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra is live in Mesa with the latest on a vote that happened just moments ago. Gabby?
Well, Green Bay, just about 10 minutes ago, the board voted to save music classes for elementary students for at least 1 year. They plan on using what they call a $1.3 million carryover fund to be able to pay for those classes for the time being. This was a topic on everyone's minds tonight. Parents, teachers, and students were very passionate. The room was overflowing as more than 80 people spoke against the possibility of eliminating music programs for 4th through 6th grade students. So good news for them that they get to keep those classes for the time being, but also some bad news tonight. Layoffs are still on the line. In a separate agenda item, the school board approved upcoming workforce reductions. The district is projecting it will lose 1,800 students next year, and with it about $18 million. No final decisions have been made on where those cuts will be made, but they did say 147 district-level jobs will be eliminated. It's still unknown exactly how many school-level jobs will be cut. But to be clear, that $1.3 million is a Band-Aid for those music classes. So it's something they're celebrating, but it's also something that they'll have to revisit in about a year. As far as those other layoffs, we're expecting to learn more on who exactly will be losing their jobs at the upcoming school board meeting in February. That's on February 11th, and we'll be there to cover that as well. For now, live in Mesa, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
All right, Gabby, thank you. Well, we have some big news in the Valley sports world. Brittany Griner's days in Phoenix are done. Griner has agreed to a new deal with the Atlanta Dream, saying goodbye to the Mercury after 11 seasons with the team. Coming up later on tonight in sports, we'll hear from Griner on the decision, and Cameron Cox will talk about BG's legacy here in the Valley.
All right, let's talk a little bit of weather with meteorologist Chris Dunn. Chris, we saw some rain in parts of the valley last night.
Yeah,
any chance there's any more on the way?
Yeah, we do have one last shot of rain moving into the valley, Mark. Storm system is still kind of lingering. It's spinning around and losing a lot of its strength, but we do have a last chance for some valley rain with one wave moving through first thing tomorrow morning. Snow level remains right around 4,000 feet with minor accumulations, an inch, maybe 2 or 3 at most, and that's about it. This is a look at the radar right now. Over the last couple of hours, there's nothing going on across the valley. What we're looking at is an area out here along the Colorado River. See this whole big spin? This is our system. And right out here, there's a little lobe of energy, a little bundle of energy that's going to swing through first thing tomorrow morning, and that will give us at least a chance for some showers. On our scale up here, 1/100th to 1/10 of an inch, that's the lightest green, and that is what's covering the valley. And all it takes is 1/100th of an inch for us to finally break our dry spell. Coming up, after this clears out, we really warm up in a big way. The big numbers are straight ahead.
All right, Chris, thanks. One of the burn victims from Hawaii who was air evac here after a fireworks explosion has died. 6 people were flown in for treatment at the Arizona Burn Center after an accident during a New Year's celebration. Police say a cake with fireworks on top tipped over and set off even more fireworks inside a carport. 5 people have now died from the explosion. Police identifying this latest victim as a 29-year-old man.
New at 10, a 20-year-old girl from the Valley is fighting for her life tonight after a terrible snowboarding accident at Snow Bowl. On Saturday, she slid off of a ledge, falling 70 feet, and was found 5 hours later. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono talked to her parents in the hospital and has an update on how she's doing.
Ron and Patty Siniscalchi never thought they'd find themselves here, sitting in a Flagstaff hospital as their only child, their 20-year-old daughter, Isabella, fights for her life.
Fighting to get back to some type of normalcy.
On Saturday, Isabella, a college athlete described as a lively and loving young woman who lives in Scottsdale, went to Flagstaff with a group of friends for a snowboarding trip at Snow Bowl.
Conditions weren't that great, but the kids, these young kids, they don't really look at that. They just saw some snow.
But on Isabella's third run of the day, tragedy struck.
Got off of the chairlift and it was icy and she skidded and there was a drop off with no fencing whatsoever or warning about this ledge. And she flew off the 70-foot ledge.
Unfortunately, Isabella wasn't wearing a helmet.
My last text to her on her way to Snow Bowl was, God, I hope you are wearing a helmet.
Isabella's friends alerted ski patrol. Her parents say she was found 5 hours later.
She was at the bottom of the 70-foot cliff, unconscious.
She's now in the ICU with a severe brain injury, a piece of her skull removed to relieve pressure and swelling on her brain.
She's making incremental progress every day, but from a pragmatic perspective, this is a marathon.
They haven't been able to speak to their daughter yet and are told she's in an amnesia state. So they're printing photos to put on the walls of her hospital room, relying on her team of doctors and prayers.
There are so many prayers going out there helping with her recovery, and it's helping. We can feel it in the room.
As they navigate this long road to recovery, they're emphasizing the importance of wearing a helmet, hoping no other parent has to stand in their shoes.
It just changes your whole life. And our whole plan right now is to support our only daughter and save her and help her to be who she was before the accident.
And as Ron and Patty's lives have now changed, loved ones have set up a GoFundMe page to help with Isabella's extensive medical bills. You can find a link to donate right now on our website, 12news.com. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
And a spokesperson for Arizona Snow Bowl released a statement saying, in part, Arizona Snow Bowl, along with our dedicated ski patrol and entire team, sends our thoughts and our heartfelt support to Isabella, her family, and loved ones during this difficult time.